Hey folks, I'm HP's Dr. Pink, and today's topic is Freddy the Freeloader, as heard on Miles Davis' famous album Kind of Blue, and it's going to be a long tutorial. We'll learn the chords, the form, the melody, and get some improvisation tips and tricks. So stay tuned and get out your jazz guitar. Dr. Pink can also play jazz, so we don't change the guitar here now. So let's see how it first sounds. I'm going to play the melody and then a little bit of improvisation. Then we get started with the tutorial. Yeah, that was the melody with some improvisation, and first we're going to check out now the chords. For maybe some additional notes about if you really want to get into this kind of playing, it's strongly recommended that you really check out the album Kind of Blue by Miles Davis, and probably also try some transcription work, try to play what these guys played. I did a transcription on the piano solo on this track, and I still remember it, even it's a long time ago since I did this, and it was really worth it to find out the kind of phrasing and how you work around the whole stuff, and that's really cool. So, but now let's get started with the chords. This track is basically a blues in B flat, and I really you can work out a really pretty simple rhythm guitar, which works around pretty well with that, but of course other kinds of rhythm guitar work is possible, but I really select the easiest one, which also goes along with the melody, and this will be this one. Yeah, that was now the whole thing twice. We have twice because we have alternative endings. I have selected a traditional comping style with the thumb, and just playing quarter notes. One, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So you just drum down with your thumb. See, this is really traditional form. It gives this smooth sound, and I make an accent on 2, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really pretty simple. Now the chords are very simple. It's a 12-bar blues, and I'll select B flat 13 here. 6th fret, 6, 7, 8, and switch to B flat 7. It will be repeat this chord here. And this goes along with the melody. We'll alternate with a 1, 2, 3, 4. Just switch between those two. This is played 4 bars. Then goes to E flat and then just move up here in the 11th fret. Back to just play it 2 bars. Back to B flat 2 bars. Then F9, here in the 8, 7, 8, 8, make a bar here. Now 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4 we move down half step to E flat 9. And now comes the big surprise. Instead of going back to B flat, and that's a little bit Miles Davis style, a little surprise, we go to A flat 13 or A flat 7, with is basically it's called a B7/7 chord. And on the improvisation we see it's gonna play a special scale on this chord here. Yeah. Then the whole thing starts again all through, but second time when we come down here, sorry, instead of going to A flat, go back to the B flat figure. You find the whole form in the description. Yeah, so these will basically be the chords, but as I said, there are also other possibilities of playing chords on that one, but that's probably the easiest one, and you probably want to go for easy, and also works if you only play with like 2 guitars. But in a band context, probably you would play though, you go along with the melody with the chords. But yeah, the tutorial is gonna get too long if I go through all possible options, but I'm gonna just subscribe to this channel and check out other options which are coming up in the future. Good, now let's go to the melody. Melody is played here, and I played with some delay on it, some reverse delay. I really like that one. It gives a fluffy sound, but you don't have to play with that effect. So the melody is very simple. It's played here in the 6th fret, 8th fret. Goes along here with the B flat Mixolydian scale here. This one here. Works around the more or less. So we start here. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And really, that's basically 1, 2, and 3, 4. That's the main syncope in this song. 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2. Then it goes here above 1 string. 2 and 3, 4, 1. Just once. Back to this B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And now, here we go on the A flat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. It's really simple. 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. And now a little surprise, 4 on the F, and on 4 and here on the G flat, which goes along with the A flat 7 chord. So that's basically the first part, and then it goes, you play the whole theme again, just with one little difference. When you come from here, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then comes the first part. And so the second time we have the alternate ending. So let's see how that works with the track. Yeah, that was now the melody. Really simple melody, and that's what I really love of Miles Davis tracks. They're often pretty simple, and the timing is really essential. It's really cool phrasing, and this A flat 7 chord is really cool on the improvisation. So now let's get on to the improvisation part. Since this is a blues, you can play blues scale over the whole thing. But that's not really cool. I mean, you can, but it's somehow not really cool because we want to play jazz guitar now. Now when it comes to, now we analyze the whole thing. Blues is basically, we play B flat Mixolydian scale on the B flat. It's this scale here. It's very important when you practice the scale that you know where the triad is. How you find out where the triad is? Just count through 1, 2, 3. Here's the triad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1, 2. After 7 comes 1 again. 1, 2. Here's the triad again. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, flat 7. Why do we need to know the triad? Because you would never play the Mixolydian scale like. I mean, you can, but nobody really is doing that. What you very, very often do, like 95% of the cases, you make a so-called approach note on the triad. So, what is an approach note? You approach 1/2 step below. See? Either here or. And that already, this little figure is already pretty cool to play. I mean, so you really can work around through that stuff and then just jump around the phrasing a little bit, and that gives some really cool stuff to play. How was this approach? See? Really comes cool. Let's see how it sounds in the track. Yeah, that of course only works on the B flat. When it switches to E flat 7, we have the E flat Mixolydian scale, which is this one here. Try to play with that fingering. It's really cool. And same principle again here. Find out where the triad is by counting 1, 2. Here it is. So approach note. 1, 2, approach note 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1, 2, 3. So approach note is here. 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. Yeah, so that's the same principle, just another position of the Mixolydian scale. I mean, if you're uncomfortable with this position, you can also select the B flat Mixolydian scale and just move it up to the 11th fret. There's also a method which works, but I would stay in position here. Same with the F7 Mixolydian scale. Just move this one up here from E flat 2 frets. Or this one here of the B flat up to the 13th fret. Yeah, you can do both, but I would prefer to stay in position. Now comes a real cool part, the A flat 7 chord. Here is a special, this is, as I said, a flat 7/7 chord, because it's the 7th thing in the row, and there you always play, it's called Lydian flat 7, but it's also called, and that makes the life a little bit easier for you, Mixolydian sharp 11 scale. To understand it, you can take the B flat Mixolydian and move it down, and then just augment the 4 to a sharp 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the 4. Augment it to a sharp 4. And then we have this Mixolydian sharp 11, or better, Lydian flat 7 scale. It's a really nice scale, and it's used pretty often in jazz. And here's the same principle. You make the approach note on the triad, and also highlight this sharp 4 or sharp 11 note in your improvisation, and then you're pretty cool. So let's now go through the entire improvisation, just using this as an example, you know. Yeah, that was a little example how you can just work with these approach notes on the triad. And that's really very convenient. This it works pretty well, and you can work around with the phrasing. Also work when it comes to timing. Miles Davis did a lot of cool stuff with timing. Just keep long notes and just pull them over the bars. It's called playing over the bar line. You did a lot, like switching to chords too early or too late. I'm gonna show what I mean. Not change to E flat, but I don't change now. I exaggerated a little bit here just to show the effect. I stayed on the main notes which defined like the B flat, this triad here, a little bit longer, so the E flat already was here, but I was still sitting on this note. This created some tension, then it got resolved. And this way you can just pull around with the timing. It's really cool, and you don't need to play really big runs or stuff like that. Just keep it cool and move around the timing that it literally takes off your shoes. Yeah, and that is basically how it works. And then you still can add some licks if you want. You can also add some minor blues scale licks. They also work, but don't make it too much, because then it sounds too bluesy and it's not really cool. Really work around these notes and then probably add some blues scales, what I'm going to do now. Yeah, folks, isn't it a coincidence that since we are doing a kind of blue, from the CD kind of blue tune, Freddy Freeloader, I'm wearing a blue shirt. But it's the wrong color, probably. That's the right color here. Yeah, what more to say? I mean, you can work for years on improvisation techniques, of course, and it's pretty hard to go too much into, let's say, you can learn improvisation in 15 minutes, and it's just not possible. Just highlight one thing, which probably works for most of you. Well, the deeper you get into it, you can do licks, which I did at the end. Subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna add some cool licks at some time, and you just add them. But the basic principle is work around the modes, switch between modes, and understand how to use the Mixolydian mode. Add some Mixolydian licks. Learn from the licks how you can work with the Mixolydian mode, and that's basically what it's all about. Yo, one more to say. The tab, sheet music, and backing track can be downloaded at HPCrazy Students Club. Join there, and it's really cool there. Yeah, and yeah, me and Dr. Pink. We're going now out for a drink. It's nearly midnight. Yeah.